T7M Radio brings to you the best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell.
This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio, 7 Mitchell, Roger. Y'all call up 347-989-8102. We talking NBA basketball. Now, real quick, Raj, I got to get this shit off of my chest. I got a funny story. It's not that funny, but I found this funny this morning. So this morning, I have reached out to a former NBA player by the name of Maurice Ager. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Maurice Ager. He was a Grammy-nominated writer. He also played in the NBA for a couple of teams. He was drafted in 2006 by the Dallas Mavericks. He played for the Nets, and he also played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I reached out to Maurice to see if I could get him to come on the show to give his opinion on issue with Carmelo Anthony and Phil Jackson. And Maurice Ager responded to me this morning that he would come on the show. He charges $25 for interviews. Let me say that again. A former NBA player who you guys may have never heard of before, Maurice Ager, or Ager, pronounce his last name, had the audacity to try to charge. I don't know if he was talking $25, $2,500, or 25 cents. I had to sit back and laugh. I thought that was ridiculous. There is no way in hell I'm going to pay anybody for any type of interview, especially for a feedback response that'll be maybe 1 to 2 minutes. This is ridiculous. So what I wanted to do was to go back and look and backtrack and check out Mr. Maurice Ager, Mr. Hollywood himself. I had to go back and check this guy out because clearly, if this guy's trying to charge me to come on the podcast to do a interview or give a response, or if he's charging people, period, because he said this is what he does, we need to really get down to the bottom line of who Mr. Ager is and what type of player he was in the NBA. So, Mr. Maurice Ager, drafted 2006 by the Dallas Mavericks. In his career, he had a 5-year career in the NBA. 2006, he averaged 2.2 points a game. 07 again with the Mavericks, he averaged 1.3 points a game. In his career, has only started 4 games in his career. 4 games. Now, this, to me, is just beyond funny to me. And I'm going to bring my co-host back on in a second, but this was just crazy to me that I got that type of response from this guy. Like he was somebody major. You should feel special that I reached out to you, asked you to come on to give your opinion, because nobody's checking for you. And then when I go back and look at your numbers, you was a motherfucking wash. 4 games in 6 years you started in the NBA. You have not averaged no more than 3.8 points per game. That was your career high in the 2010 season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It is unbelievable how pathetic and how Hollywood people get. And you would think now, in this day and age, with Trump being the president, that we will all try to stick together, whether we novice journalists or what have you, celebrities, what have you. You would think that we would kind of come together and try to support each other. This Hollywood curve he tried to move and pull on me this morning was just hilarious. I was laughing all morning. I was laughing all morning. Then the funny thing about it, he had the nerve to follow up and ask me did I want to still do the interview. This guy's crazy. This is unbelievable. I got to bring Raj back on. Raj, this was just funny, man. I laughed so hard this morning when this went down because, like I said, I just wanted to reach out to him to see if I could get some feedback on his opinion on what was going on with Carmelo and Phil Jackson. And for this former NBA player try to charge just to call up to the podcast, I mean, that is just ridiculous.
So, but let me tell you, I know who you're talking about, and I vaguely remember him. You're right. He got some nerve to be wanting to be charging 45, whatever. You know what I mean? To be calling up on a podcast.
Whatever. I mean, I didn't even ask him because when he said that, I didn't even respond. I was done with the clown. He had the audacity to follow up and ask me did I want to do it. Do you still want to do the interview? I'm like, man, don't say my name like we cool. This is some... Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, this is just... I would appreciate him saying no, or I would appreciate him not responding. But for you to tell me that you're charging people... Who are you? And yeah, you were nominated for a Grammy, the 56th Grammy, and the 56th Grammy Award, which you hit Far From Home, but you didn't win the Grammy then. I'm not going to call you a loser in every aspect for you to be so disrespectful and try to curve the hood. You're totally out of bounds, Mr. Maurice Ager.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media, T7M Radio on YouTube.